Intro Algebra, Lesson 1-1A. So in math we have what we refer to as variables. And variables are any kind of place value that's into a formula, or a recipe if you'd rather, that replace something unknown. Instead of having a symbol, we use a letter. Oftentimes that letter might be the beginning letter of the word that if the formula we're using, maybe it's replacing. If I was looking at a and I was looking for Robbie, I might use R for Robbie if that was the missing value. So for variable, it's any letter used to represent one or more numbers. So it's possible that we may have more than one variable in a problem. All right? If we were looking for more than one number, we'd want to make sure that if the numbers were different, or a possibility of being different, that we would distinguish them with different variables. Variable expression. All right? Now we talk about expressions in algebra. It's a collection of numbers, so there could be numbers in it. Could have variables. It might have operations. Operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, but will not have an equal sign. An expression will not have an equal sign. It can have just numbers. 5 plus 7 is an expression. The number 8 is an expression. It can have variables. R plus T. It just can't have an equal sign. That's the only thing it can't have. So some examples. What does this mean? 8y. That's an expression. In between the 8 and the y, since you don't see an operation sign, it must mean that there's actually multiplication in there. 8 times y. Alright, once again, there's no operation sign. So 8 times x times y. That's an expression. It doesn't matter how many numbers, doesn't matter how many variables, doesn't matter what kind of operation signs, as long as there is no equal sign. Alright? 8 times y is the same as up here. So if you don't see the variable, you don't see a multiplication sign, anything in between like this, it really means multiplication. When you evaluate an expression, replacing each variable in an expression with a number is what it means to evaluate. Evaluate, we want to know what it's worth. What is its value? Evaluate. So we want to take whatever expression we have and we plug the values given for those variables. What it all equals to is the value. When we get done, we say equals this. So here's the first thing we want to do. We want to write the variable expression. Remember, this has no equal sign. So this might have letters, variables. It might have operation signs, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And it might have numbers. It might have a combination of them. It might have only one of them. You don't know. But whatever it is, that's the variable expression. Then we substitute any of the values that we know. So maybe we're given some of the values and we plug in the ones that we know. That might leave us something that we don't know. We're not sure. And when we're finished, we simplify the expression. Simplify simply means add, multiply, subtract, divide, whatever you need to do to those numbers to come up with your answer. Can we apply the evaluation model, the model we just went over, to the following problem? The perimeter of a pentagon is equal to the sum means addition, of the lengths of the 5 sides. We don't know the lengths of the 5 sides, so we've given each side its own variable. A is one side, B is another, C is another, D is another, and E is the 5th side. So if we were to add all the sides together, sum, we would have the perimeter, the distance around that pentagon. So finding the perimeter of the pentagon, here I have given you values. A is 4, B is 5, C is 4, D is 6, E is 6. According to our model, first we have a variable expression. Write the variable expression, we would substitute, and we would have this variable expression right here. So according to our model, write the expression. The perimeter is A plus B plus C plus D plus E. That's step 1 of the model, writing the variable expression. Step 2, substitute values in for the variables. Since we have those values that are given to us, we can plug those in. A was 4, B was 5, C was 4, D was 6, E was 6. And the last step, we would simplify. Because it's all addition, we can multiply or add from left to right. 4 plus 5 is 9, 13, 19, 25. 25 is our value for the problem, the value. And the last problem, last example, use the simple interest formula to calculate how much interest you'll earn if you deposit $500 at a rate of 6% per year for half a year. This is the simple interest formula. You have multiplication in between here because there's no operation sign visible, so we know it means multiplication. I equals P times R times T. I'm going to tell you what each of those letters stand for. I stands for the interest. It's kind of like what you'll make. P stands for the principal. It's your start amount. R is your rate. But the really big trick about the rate is you must put the value in as a decimal. So if it's a percent, as a decimal. We'll talk about how to convert that. And T is time. And it's usually in years. So if it is in years, and they give you 6 months, you need to put 1/2 or 0.5 into the formula. Now I talked about this percent as a decimal. In this case, it says 6%. 6%, you must take this decimal and move it 2 places to the left, which would equal 0.06. So we would need to put 0.06 in for R. Biggest mistake, people just put 6 in for R, and then that's all out of whack. You must make sure that you put the percent as a decimal. And I don't care what the percent is, you always move it 2 places to the left. If it's 125%, 2 places to the left would make 1.25. If it was 13%, you'd move it 2 places to the left and you'd have 0.13. Always 2 places to the left. So if we substitute the values, as we look at this problem, we're looking for the interest. It says calculate the interest. So we start, it says deposit. Deposit is what you're starting with. So where 500 is going to go in for our principal. We've already converted the 0.06 in for rate. And then it says here for half a year. Half a year means what value? 0.5 for time. So I equals the $500 that we started with at an interest rate of 0.06 for half a year. All we have to do then is multiply those 3 values. That's evaluating. We would say 500 times 0.06 times 0.5 is 15. This is simple interest, it's not compound interest. If we were to take $500, put it into an account, making 6% a year, in half of a year, our money would have made us $15. That would be the simple interest calculation.